Hi guys, Berry Babe checking in. Today is Thursday, March the 2nd. I'm still in Florida and you can see our trailer over there. I'm sitting at the picnic table of the campsite next door. Nobody's here. So even when I talk quietly, there are a lot of people around. So somebody's starting up their motorcycle. Today, the Whoosh ferry is still alive and well. In Florida, I was down 2.1. So in 4 VLCDs with no loading, I'm down 15.9, 150.1. I am blown away. Blown away. I was planning on cheating tomorrow, but I'm not going to do that tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to go to that neighboring little town that we liked so much, and my husband has found a Chinese buffet. You know, we have a thing with Chinese buffets. And while he's at the Chinese buffet, I'm going to do laundry. So we'll both get our needs met. It's very possible that later in the week, maybe Monday, we'll go into Pensacola and go to that place that I'm really wanting to go to. But I'd like to get to 145 before I start throwing in things, because I know this one place where I go, they have a carby thing, and the fish is breaded, but they have a carby thing that I just really like, and it's gonna jack me up. So I don't want to get jacked way into the 150s. I'd rather get jacked up in the 140s. So, you know, there's such a mind trip. When I was 166, I was wildly desperate. I was scared to death. Because last year when I came home from Florida, I was 190. And it took me a long time to get back down. And I really had hoped that I was going to stay compliant while I was in Florida. I'm an all or nothing. It's like I can do a real structure program, or I can do stuff in my face. But I start out moderate, I start out reasonable, and then I just keep, oh well, I could have some of that, and I'd like some of that, I'd like some of that, and before I know it, I'm 166 pounds. So as I've come to, 150, once I get into the 140s, it's going to be like, oh, I'm real comfortable here. I'm going to cheat a little bit. So I have to be on HCG for 23 days, and that's kind of a trap I fell in before, thinking I don't have to get all the way down and then maintain. I can just take my time getting down. So I'm still playing that head game with myself, and I don't know whether it's heads or tails is going to win. We were in a place called Gulf Shores. There's a lot of construction going on. My husband wanted to try this fancy way, or this new way of getting there, and we ended up on a lot of dead ends with water around, but on a lot of dead ends, and we ended way around. And last year when we were at this campground, we had never seen any of this area, so just going out and seeing what there was entertaining. Now it's kind of like there's really not much there, and the beach was so nice at Henderson Park in Destin, Henderson Beach State Park, where we got in free. The ocean there was just, or the Gulf, was just wonderful, and we had to pay a toll of $4 each way, but our campsite was like $16 or $18, so to pay $8 to go to the beach, Henderson Beach campsites are $30 a night. So it was still a bargain. So maybe six times we went to the beach. Here, these beaches, we pulled up to the one in town, and you had to pay to park. And the beach was free, but you had to pay to park. And it was like, we just were kind of worn out. So he's in taking a read, and I'm doing a vlog, and I'll probably upload this tonight. I do not know if I will be able to upload a vlog tomorrow. The library is only open until 4, and we are going to be in that other little town doing our whatever it is we're doing, and we may not get back in time for me to upload it. They are open on Saturday and we will go, but they are not open at all on Sunday. So if you don't see a vlog from me, it's not necessarily because I've fallen off the rails. You know, I tend to fall off the rails I tend to fall off the vlogs when I fall off the rails, but I had such phenomenal news overnight that I wanted to be sure to try and share it with you today. One of the things, on my ketonics, I was 7 yellow blips last night. I was 4 yellow blips this morning. I was 3 yellow blips yesterday morning. My blood ketones were 0.7, the same. My keto dipstick was darker, and my fasting blood sugar came down from low 80s to I think low 70s. Now those are both low numbers for me. Even when I was in ketosis, I hit 80 every so often, but I'm a recovering diabetic. My duodenal switch surgery kind of cured that, but I had noticed a trend for my morning blood sugars to be, not unusual for me to be 109 in the morning. So I asked my doctor for some metformin, which is also good for working with insulin resistance. For 2 nights, the last 2 nights I've taken it before bed. It can have some intestinal upset, and so I thought it's good to take it at night. There is a build-up. It builds up in your system, so eventually it doesn't matter what time of the day you take it. It helps you maintain consistent levels. So with me having had gastric bypass and duodenal switch, the absorption of the medication is an issue. So that may also be helping me do better with the HCG, because I'm not eating a lot of carbs, but it should help me deal with the carbs I am eating in a constructive way. I did go into a place called, oh shoot, I want to say Moe's, but I'm not sure that's what it was. I'll have to look and tell you again. But we were driving by, and there are so many seafood places, but a lot of them are go in and sit down. And to go in and sit down and only eat a hamburger patty or something like that, it's expensive, $12 for a hamburger patty, and then tax, and by the time you put a soft drink on there. So it said seafood and chicken. So I went in and got a serving of fish, and I don't know what kind it was. It was very mild. It was a little bit soft, but it came in little, those little, like when you get perch, it's not a long one, they're like little curled ones, and there probably were 6 it was a takeout box, one of those little takeout boxes, and it filled the bottom. She had given me some lemon juice. The wait counter girl, it was her first day, and she had given me some lemon juice in a little plastic container. So I put it on my lap. The fish was on this side and the lemon juice was on this side, and it spilled. What I didn't realize was that there were vent holes. There were 4 vent holes in the lid. So all of a sudden, lemon juice is leaking all over my pants. It's like, ah! And there were supposed to be paper towels right there, and they weren't. So Rick got some out. And in the meantime, I'm trying to stop this lemon juice from leaking all over the place. I appreciate, he made a comment, you really would appreciate that they vented it, because I always make them. I go someplace and I'll say, pop the lid. I don't want the lid down, because then it steams and I like crispy crust. This fish did have a very thin coating. It was a little more than just cornmeal. but it wasn't real greasy, but it was very moist. And so and it wasn't time for me to eat, because historically I've been doing, I do a broth, and then I do protein and a Quest bar, and then I get to do dinner, and then I try not to eat after dinner. And so I'd had my Quest bar about an hour earlier, so it really wasn't time to be eating, but I ate the fish, and I plugged in what I thought, I counted it as 1.5 fillets. I don't know what a fillet is. I know that Kroger frozen fillets that I get are one size, so so I didn't have a clue how many ounces it was, so I counted it 1.5 fillets, and then given with what I plan to eat for dinner, I'm still okay on my macros, over a little on my carbs. Oh well, so I don't know what I'll see in the morning. I would love to see 140 something, even 149.9. That would be 0.2 down. Would love to see that. So Rick's getting a little tired of being away from home. He's much more connected at home than I am. I have my girlfriends, but he's in several clubs, and people are calling him, and he's doing this and running here and running there. And I've been talking a lot about how I could come down by myself, because we have 2 big beagles, and when we got the beagles, I said, okay, I'll get these dogs, because I'm very allergic. We were finally in a place where we could kind of corral them, and I could be where they weren't. I said, but I don't ever want them to change my life, and I'm not going to pay catastrophic medical bills. Well, I paid $1,500 for hamstring surgery, so I guess I'm more of a sucker than I thought. But I don't do well in the winter, and I need to get out of Michigan. My nails were like down to nubs, and they were split and crack, and now they're coming back, and it feels so nice. I'll get home and they'll just shrivel up and fall off again. So, we talked about a new van, and we've talked about a little motorhome, or we have a teeny little trailer called the Burro, and it's from 1982. It was a kit we put together, but he loaned it to the library for storage, and it's been vandalized, and it's going to take quite a bit to put it back into shape, but I can pull that with our Trailblazer, so I could go by myself. Now, I can't back up. Once years ago, we were pulling a 12-foot pop-up, and I got in the middle of an intersection in La Brea, Kentucky, and I just sat there because the light changed and I couldn't go, so I just sat there. So I would have to learn how to back up. That's one of the rules. But he says, well, I could drive you down and then fly back, and I said, but you'd still want to stay, come all this way if you didn't want to stay for 3 months. March is really, we have my oldest daughter's Together's Day is the 10th. Then our wedding anniversary, it'll be 42 years, is on the 15th, and his birthday's on the 20th. So we usually try to get home by the anniversary, because there are things going on. And we didn't leave until late in January this time, because even though our oldest was back at school, he had Lion's 75th anniversary party. So that allowed me to go to DC with my daughter. But, so I don't know, if you become a campground host and clean toilets volunteer, you can get your camping free and stay there more than 14 days at a time. So we'll see. So I see that my time's running out. It's probably a good thing I have a 15-minute limit on my phone. I will hopefully upload this tonight, and I'll get back with you when I'm able. Bye-bye for now.